So, in no particular order, Rachel Simon. Hello, Rachel. And I would also like to welcome Brenda Meller, all the way from Michigan. You will all introduce yourself in a minute. And of course, who has traveled the farthest, Michelle J. Raymond from Sydney, Australia. Yay! This has been amazing. We are having so much fun, and we are here to really talk about how these amazing women have built their personal brands and businesses on LinkedIn. So let's just start it, and we're going to do what we do best, ladies. Just kick it off and chat and get to know a little bit more about your brands, personal brands. So, Rachel, tell us exactly what you do. Then we'll go to Brenda and Michelle, and I'm going to throw out some questions, and let's do it.
I can't hear Rachel.
No, we can hear you in person, but we just can't hear you on the video.
Yes.
There we go.
Okay.
Now we can hear you.
Okay.
No.
I think we're all echoing. Everybody, we're like live in the moment, and they're all behind me in this big courtyard, so it's kind of echoey. But we're gonna make fun. This is live, right? So we'll just. Are
Is
you
that better?
good? Brit?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
Yes.
So tell us what you
Not
did last
okay.
night.
All right. Well, I'll try my funny line again, which is that I do the wobble on Bourbon Street. That's what I do. But in all seriousness, I help companies clear off the digital dust that has accumulated on LinkedIn. So I work with B2B companies on LinkedIn training to get their people really leveraging the platform, much like my friends and that are right here and twins. So
Yes. You're,
so
like,
awesome to be
you're
here.
wearing "I Love NOLA" New Orleans T-shirts we got yesterday. Anyway, so we'll go to Brenda and then Michelle. We're gonna get into it. So Brenda, tell us what you do with your brand and your business.
Well, I am delighted to be here. I help people get a bigger slice of the LinkedIn pie. The only pie I've seen so far in NOLA has been my chair in my room, which looks like a cherry lattice shaped pie. I will try to get some pie before I leave here, but I help people get a bigger slice of the LinkedIn pie, and it's such an honor to be with all of you here today.
You're having a blast. Well, Michelle, you've traveled the farthest, so we
I
would love
have.
to hear what you do for those who have not met you yet.
Well, if anyone hasn't met me, I don't normally sound like this. Just so you know, this is the consequences of traveling and talking too much. So I'm having a ball in New Orleans and so great to meet all of you guys. But I'm Michelle. I love to help people leverage LinkedIn to grow their B2B businesses. So I'm based in Sydney, Australia. So it is amazing to actually be here with all of you guys right now. Like, it is super cool. Like, I can actually hug you and say hi and go out and sing 90s grunge songs together and watch a little karaoke. And the wobble, I didn't know what the wobble was until last night, but I've been educated, so I'm
Yes.
pretty excited.
We are doing a lot of brand education, business building, and New Orleans, and fun and eating. We're doing all the things.
Yeah,
That's why
yeah.
we're having fun, learning and having fun. The two most important things. But the reason why we're all together is to really just build and boost our brands together and learn more. But you all three have remarkable stories how LinkedIn has really truly created your brand and your business. So for those who are just on the sidelines, want to get on LinkedIn, want to really get that brand out there, let's just hear it from you all, because I think let's talk about when you started your businesses and what was your first thing and some of the best tips. I know that's a lot of questions, but Rachel, tell us when you. Let's just ad lib. I hate asking questions. We're having fun here. This shouldn't be so structured. Rachel, when did you start your business? 2020? 2018?
2018. And I will be honest, I had really no idea what I was doing. So I was, had been doing marketing consulting for a couple of years, which really didn't, I wasn't doing any brand building. I had no brand. It was just like, oh, Rachel, she does some marketing stuff. You should
Yeah.
talk to her. And so when I launched Connected Dots Digital, I did what a lot of new business owners do. Like, okay, I have a company now. I need a logo. I need a website. I need something so people will take me seriously. And it was a learning process. Actually, the logo I use now is the logo that I created on
Wow.
Canva back in 2018. I've just refined it a little bit. Um, but, kind of going through the process of thinking about, I never thought about building a brand. I thought about it as I need these collateral pieces in order to be taken seriously. And then the rest sort of, I learned so much along the way of how you take those, you know, attributes and then actually turn them into something that is more of a brand and more memorable.
So you're like some of the clients that I work with that are in their scale up phase because that come to me like, hey, you just launched without doing the foundational brand. So I love that story because there's so many of us that do that, right? And they don't get
I had
that.
no idea what I was doing, like not a clue.
Yeah, I love it. So 2018 for you, but I think Brenda, you were 2019 officially. We're only going to order here. Yeah.
So I started at a side hustle, and
Okay.
then 2017 was where I dabbled at the very end of the year, and then 2018 in January was when I stopped looking for a job. So I really, I think 2016 was when my LLC got started, but like 2018 January was really when I became full-time in Meller marketing.
Very much like other clients I work with who are, leaving corporate. So this is why I love what I do because it's women on all different stages of the own your lane journey, right? We are owning our lanes. And I love this. Michelle's doing Michelle has one of those cool sticks where she can just do
Oh
the,
nobody's even commented on this yet. Are you guys noticing what is happening on the video? We are in the same courtyard,
yes,
and we
that's a
strategically,
good
but
point
nobody in
there.
the comments is saying like, is that Brenda in the background? Is that Rachel in the back?
Isn't
Yeah, it
it
is.
so cool? Like, hey, Michelle. Oh my goodness. I see Michelle J. Raymond. Hello. This is so, I cannot tell you, everybody, on a side note, when I finally met Michelle J. Raymond, someone I'm
She
going
was
to
so nervous.
book and do a podcast together. Do a video on it. We'll share later. But it was surreal. It was in this very spot right behind me. Right. Anyway, so the interesting thing is we're all, women entrepreneurs left that corporate role to start their own business, build a brand. We're having too much fun here, so forgive us. I'm
You
trying to
know what?
make
This
things
this is like when you're
a good time.
pros, and we were like, this was like an impromptu type of an event, and we
Yeah.
were talking about like, what do we do and how do we do different? Like, this is like the true sign of expertise. Like, we came on today with a loose agenda, but then
Yeah.
we thought, well, let's do a StreamYard, but let's not all be on the same camera. Let's all be on our own, and then let's not just be on our own, but let's strategically place ourselves to give people like a little something extra with what we
Yes,
do,
I see.
right?
This is they're all like behind me in this long courtyard. But anyway, it's so much fun. That's why I do these brand and business retreats because we have so much fun together, but we also learn so much together. We've had so many breakthroughs. Michelle, you and I both started, I believe, in 2020. And so tell us the short version of I know you had a really kind of aha moment why you had to start your business and then what that looked like for you.
Yeah, look, my business, I never planned on being an entrepreneur. Ultimately, what happened was I went from the high of winning a $2 million order from a LinkedIn post to 3 weeks later having to quit that same job. So it was pretty crazy. So I just decided I wasn't working for anyone else. So I'd never done any planning or, thinking about what a business would be. So I kind of faked it till I made it. And, it was somewhere in there. I would say part of my branding and getting known for LinkedIn company pages back in the beginning was ultimately because when I came to talking about LinkedIn, everybody else seemed like they already had their piece of the pie, as Brenda would say. And so I looked around and no one else was really talking about company pages until I met Brenda, a little bit further down the track. And so I thought, I'm just going to play in my own little sandpit over here. Everybody else can fight over the rest. And, if it wasn't for me kind of thinking that, and then Michelle Griffin, you kept me on track because I wanted to give up. I wanted to throw it all away because it was in the too hard basket. I wouldn't be here today. Like, I wouldn't have got to speak at Social Media Marketing World. And so this is the kind of craziness for me, the fact that you can get known for something and that one little moment can get you to the other side of the world speaking. Like, it's just
And
crazy.
then you'll be speaking in Denmark in June with Small Rock LinkedIn Rockstars. Truly the concept of owning your lane, Michelle. Like you owned
Yeah.
and you owned it and you went in there even when there was maybe no one around and you were like, but then that star just started. So this is really a good topic to segue into how maybe some of us who didn't do the foundational work kind of started broad, like how do I really find my place? How do I find my difference? So I'd like to talk about that. I know Brenda has it really well branded with the pie. I'll tell you for me, when I jumped into it, hi, oh my God, this is just like Sorry if we're not like focused on work. We're having so much fun geeking out on all this. This is New Orleans, by the way. Michelle knows that I struggled with, I think after 2021, everyone, my brother, sister, and third cousin put personal branding in their profile, right? And I'm like, Michelle, how do I differentiate? Like, I would share with her because as a LinkedIn business bestie, and she was so good. And so funny, I don't know if anyone knows this, or maybe I haven't said it in a while, but the brand therapist came from Michelle because she's like, you really help people get out of their head. Like I think you called it a counselor or something, which maybe
Well, that was me because
Yeah.
you helped me
Like-
so much.
yeah. So, but I'm like, you mean like a therapist? She goes, yeah, that. Because I don't think you have that terminology as much in Australia. So I'm like, okay, I'll just be the brand therapist. And that was in November, like into November 2022. And that's when I really landed into it. And that is stick. Even my nephews know I'm the brand therapist. Like they don't even pay attention to what I do. They're like, you're the brand therapist. So, right. So this whole concept is, get your brand, get your foundation, own your lane, and find. And now I know there's a certain someone named with the letter G who's here, and I know she's starting to do something soon. We love you, G. Thank you for being here. Thank you all, Lois. Oh my God, Felipe, all of you who taking the time now and on the replay, which I'm sure it's going to be comical. We appreciate you so much for being here, and we are just having a blast. There is nothing like being in person. Oh, she's reading our book. And wow, look what you know. I have found too a book.
Oh, hang on. Do you want me to sign it because I'm here? Can I just tell you?
I'm dying. Brenda's catching up on some light reading.
Yes. Okay, so how do we honor Lady No? Rachel, you got in there.
I think you just have to do it. I mean,
You want to hold it while you
tell
like-
us how you went
Here,
from
I'll hold it.
Yeah.
It's just getting
I think like from the I don't know what I'm doing with this business to just kind of like becoming known is for me it was a lot of based on relationships, like building relationships with people. Brenda was honestly she was the first person on LinkedIn to invite me on a live stream.
Oh,
And I was so honored when she asked me. Like this was several years ago. My hair, I based things on how long my hair was, so my hair was probably here at the time. And I was like, Brenda Meller wants me on her live stream. Okay. So being able to build those relationships and associate with people who maybe have a bigger brand than you do, so that it helps to build your credibility. I mean, I think that for me, that's a lot of what has helped me along the way. And then having something memorable, like very large red curly hair, doesn't hurt.
Yes. Well, you have a great Connected Digital. You have a really good, strong brand name. I mean, you're someone who's really leading with the business name. I guess you all.
Could I get your autograph?
Oh,
I
my
heard you're a
goodness.
celebrity, and I just wanted
The
For our
Belma
audience.
celebrities yesterday when we were taking pictures.
we were at a piano bar last night,
Yes.
and she had a napkin
Oh, yes.
slid over to her, and it said, what was the name of the person?
Are you Glennon Doyle?
So people thought that she was a celebrity, and they were all like snickering at the table, like, oh my God, there's a celebrity over there. And we were like, well, we are kind of all celebrities, like to each other.
Yes. I just signed the book, so now
There
you
go.
have it.
Thank you, Live it in her.
Yes, and I'm gonna have to get her to sign. Well, actually, you did sign my book because I bought her pre-sale. I bought Brenda's book and had her sign it before I ever met her. Like that's the power of LinkedIn and building brand. So when Brenda sits down, we're gonna do first book. So Brenda, you've been in business probably the longest. When did the pie branding come into effect? And give us a backstory on that. And we know the true story. If you read her book. Oh, wait. Yeah, I can hear you now.
I had to unmute again. So the backstory here is this is taking you back to the year 2018 when Meller Marketing was already in a full-fledged business. I was doing a presentation for the Sterling Heights Chamber of Commerce. Shout out to my friends at the Sterling Heights Chamber. And I did a themed presentation. It was all about social media for small businesses. And I decided to call it Social Media Pie. And then every slide was like, there's a picture of apples. And then the next slide was a picture of apple pie. And then it was a picture of bananas and then banana cream pie. And it was just a theme of the presentation. And I created a hashtag social media pie with that. And it wasn't even just LinkedIn. It was like LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter. I was talking about how to use social media for your business. At the end of the presentation, I was encouraging people to take pictures, post them online, do etc. And later that day, the next day, I saw pictures online, hashtag social media pie. And there was a woman who did a blog about it, and she called it the power of social media pie. So I did what any smart marketer will do at that point, because I'm like, this is something that's kind of sticking. I went and
Yes.
reserved all the domains. You'll appreciate this, Michelle, because we had a conversation about domain registration. So I went and reserved Social Media Pie. I went on all the social media platforms and looked for the closest version of Social Media Pie that I could. Created the name, and it wasn't even at that time, I wasn't even thinking of calling a book Social Media Pie. It was just starting to create something around it. And I've even had people ask, have you thought about renaming your company Social Media Pie instead of Meller Marketing? And I really haven't gone into that direction, but yeah, that's how it all kind of came to be. And eventually, when I wrote the book, I decided, gosh, I'm going to call it Social Media Pie, because then I don't have to have the word LinkedIn as a part of the book title, which is
Yes. Good
can be a
thing.
little bit of a tricky thing,
And you
right?
have also pie emoji everywhere. So that's another little thing
Yes.
part. Yes. You
Yeah.
exactly what we were talking about. Our friend G can appreciate this when I was chatting with her about the golden anchor, the sticking point in your brain. The minute you hear something, G, if you're still listening, you know what I'm talking about. But the minute I heard something that she was doing, I'm like, that's it. That is it. That's stuck in my brain. I don't care what else you said. That's stuck in my brain. Same with this lady, Brenda, at this presentation. So when you have people kind of giving you clues in your brand or talking it back to you, like Michelle did to me, you got to own that, because that's the memorable. That's what makes you top of mind and memorable. And that's what we want to do with brand. And also that just carving the foundation of how you want to be perceived. And Brenda, yours is very, people, pie is very warm and, no pun intended, giving. And I'm just going to,
And that's the
Do,
thing, like, and if
do
you're
not
watching
say
right now,
with that,
we
warm
got to be
apple
careful.
pie.
There was a movie for a
Warm
while
apple
that got us a
pie.
little off. But everybody online that's watching right now, I want you to go into comments and tell us, what is your favorite kind of pie?
yes,
Like, because when I do this presentations and people, like, everyone has a type of pie that they like, and there's always a backstory. There's like, my grandma made it, or my aunt made it, or there's a holiday association, and it kind of unites us all.
you know what mine
Nestle
is?
Toll House pie.
The
Yeah.
crust.
What's that?
I just like the crust, the
The
pie crust.
crust.
Not the pie.
Yeah.
I just like the crust. My mom used to
What's
make these
Nestle?
pies, and I eat the
Uh,
crust. What's that?
did you
Nestle's
say
pie?
what's? Did you say what's Nestle Toll House pie? It's like a giant cookie in a pie shell.
Shell and a pie
Mm.
plate. So that's pie. Hey, if it's
So
in a pie,
good.
it's a pie, right? So, okay, your sticking points. We know Brenda is, pink. Oh, and we did go and get Brenda some pink sparkly um, clothes. I mean, stuff for her brand. We really got her visual branding yesterday. We got some upgrades to her visual branding, and that's been really good. So you're set. We've talked about some of the things you're going to be talking about later. Some of the new um, offers and services of your brand is just explode. You're really in the boost and explode stage. Um, so Michelle, let's talk about your brand and the sticking point you have, especially because you were in San Diego with all these people who saw you for the first time. Tell us a little bit about that experience, because it really shows the growth and explosion of your brand.
Yeah, I just want to talk about something that I found really like quite intimidating at first, and then realized what an opportunity it was, and maybe other people can relate. And I think Rachel said something just before. Sometimes, like, how we look is part of our personal brand. So normally I've got a black polo shirt on. People always say I've never got a hair out of place. Probably some of you have never seen me wear my glasses on things like this. But one of the things I guess when you're putting your brand together that I've learned about is that there are things about us that we often think that other people would judge us for, or not like us, or it's uncool. And so for me, it's often been, oh, I don't look like anyone else. I've got short hair. Most other women have got long hair, like you ladies. And so I used to think that was a bad thing. But when I was in the conference center, then I realized I stand out, and I think it's sometimes we spend all our time trying to blend back in again, and I don't know if it goes back to being at school or conforming or something. But, I think those things, like Rachel said, her red curly hair, like that's what we know and love. It. G's smile.
Yeah.
G, if you are still listening to this, I was talking about you at the conference with Anna, and we were both saying how much your smile lights up our feed. So there are just things that are unique to us. And if you're someone that's been hiding it, and trying to, like pretend it doesn't exist or whatever, maybe it's your chance to actually double down and go hard on it. So, what makes you unique as a person? And the same goes for your brand. If you can't do it with yourself or your brands, then what happens is you just blend in, like, you know, all of those bricks on that wall, they're all the same,
Yeah.
be the thing that stands out. So, I found it really interesting to actually have people notice me for things like that. But yeah, so I think the lesson that I learned, amongst everything is find your thing, own your thing, and be proud of that thing. Because for company pages for a long time, I wasn't proud of it. And I even had somebody pick me up on it. And, because I would go, yeah, I do company pages. It's not as cool as TikTok. People like, stop it,
Good.
own it. And my mate Brenda behind me is probably nodding her head because back in the early days, she was definitely on team Michelle, stop doing that. And so, yeah, there's some of the lessons that I've learned that I didn't expect. But, branding takes a bit of strength to, own it and be who you are. But it pays off.
You've captured the essence of what my own your lane concept is, and so many levels too. It's not just the surface level; it's the deep inside work too. And when you are internally, when you're strengthened from internal, it projects. Just like you didn't realize the subtle things on the external when you were like, but they're not as cool. You can't say stuff like that. So I love that you have all these wonderful women in your corner, and we all hopefully would want that to respectfully say, Michelle, you don't realize what you're doing. But you just said two amazing things: own who you are, externally, but then your inside too. So I love that. Own your lane is the concept of the book. I'm writing in October. It's coming out in October 2024. So everybody says it's so.
Hang on. I
So
will see if I can do this. Is it showing my shoes?
there you go. Can I show my yellow shoe too?
Of course.
All
Well, if
right,
we're all doing this, I mean, we might as well, I'll just take mine
yeah,
off.
okay, yeah. We'll go a
Well,
little in here.
I got to listen. I got to listen to Anne Handley's talk at social media marketing world, and her talk is based around the Barbie movie. And if you've seen it, she's not about being Barbie the lead hero. It's all about embrace your weirdness, embrace your weird Barbie. So whatever your thing is that makes you the weird Barbie, who did they all turn to for help when they needed it? They went to Weird Barbie because they knew she would have the answers. So embrace the weird was Anne Handley's message. So I think that's stuck with me.
I love that. I love that. This is so much fun. So everybody, let's talk about, we did the pie. What's another question, on brand question, that we can ask everyone to put in the comments so we can have fun, because we want to be engaging on our brands. So let's see. What is your brand? Like, I guess maybe tell people what's their thing that people know them for, maybe. I don't know. Think of some things. I'm going off the cuff.
What's a keyword? When people think about your brand, what's a word or phrase that they would like? For me, it's pie. Like they're like pie. Oh, Brent. And even like sometimes people will post about something non-related to pie, or they'll say something about getting a bigger slice of the pie, or like, and people will be like, oh, Brenda Meller, and they'll tag me in. By the
Yeah.
way, next month, March 14th, you all know what that day is, right?
It's
It's
Pie
Pie
Day.
Day. March 14th, 3.14 Pie Day. I'm actually doing a talk for Inform Troy, and I'm going to talk about how to go all in on LinkedIn. So I've embraced this pie thing, like to this
Yes.
extent. Like pie has nothing to do with LinkedIn, really. It doesn't. But when you create something that's a part of your personal brand, people can't not think of you. Like I'm
Yeah.
guessing when you all go to a bakery or you're at a place that has fabulous pie, your first inclination is, I got to take a picture and send this to Brenda, like that.
And
And then
I
when I
actually have done that in the past.
yes. And when people, like, honestly, if you, and for anyone who's watching this, if you ever come across pie memes, pie
Yeah.
comics, pie humor, interesting pie things when you're traveling, bakeries, like send me pictures. A lot of times I'll reshare it, and it always makes my day. It's like, it's so cool. It's like, oh my God, somebody saw something pie related, and it just makes me happy. So,
I
but I
love
think like we all have to figure out like what our pie. You can't own pie. I mean, you can because I don't own it, but like figure out what your pie is. That's
Exactly.
something that's you're passionate about that's non-related to your brand. And
Yeah.
when you figure
So
that out, you can make yourself, more memorable.
Absolutely.
yeah, I will say what has been that like force over the last year for me is I cannot tell you how many people message me, tag me, and post about Taylor Swift now
Yes.
on this
Yeah.
platform.
Showed up
It's
yesterday with the
ridiculous because, like, if you don't know, my daughter turned me into a rabid Swiftie in the last 2 years, and I'm obsessed with her. And so I've connected with people because of our mutual love of Taylor Swift. So it doesn't have to even be like have anything to do with your business. It's just something that people know that you like. Could be a sports team, where you went to college, like whatever the case may be, but like something that you are passionate about, and then it's a point of connection with other people, and they associate you with whatever that thing is, and it's cracked me up. Yes, it's me. I'm the problem.
She rides
Definitely me.
a Taylor Swift T-shirt, right?
I did have my Taylor Swift T-shirt on yesterday.
Swift painting print of Taylor Swift painting on the print recorder. Really cool. You have to show people that later. That's super cool. So, Michelle is the roving camera lady. Okay, so she's coming back in a minute. So, okay, so we're almost half to our time. Then we have so much to do with our branding and business sessions and some lunch and some fun things planned. So, ladies, while I'm waiting for Michelle to get back, what are you thinking so far in New Orleans and this business branding retreat you're on?
It's been so much fun. What's not to love?
Exactly. Okay, here
Great
comes
food. Here she
Yes.
comes.
I'm back. I just
Okay.
had something I needed to do. Brenda,
Uh-oh.
can you wander up this way?
Yeah.
Something's happening.
I've revealed. This is live.
Uh-oh. I don't know what's
Don't-
coming.
Don't worry, it's not Vegemite.
Oh, thank God.
I wouldn't even know what to do with that.
Tim Tams. Australian cookies. Yummy. Aww.
Are they good?
I love it.
I'm
Oh my
gonna come
God.
later. You guys keep
But wait, there's more.
I just have to, I'll go over here so there's no echo, but I have to just tell people that I also got them. In Australia, we have a thing where you buy the world's worst tea towel for people as a gift if you go somewhere. So the good news is you've all got a tea towel.
I got, yeah.
Oh my God. I think this is the
And-
world's best tea towel.
And I even found gluten-free Tim Tams for Michelle.
This is hilarious.
Aren't we all so thoughtful and fun?
Aww.
We get together and it's like a celebration.
So we're gonna do the Tim Tam Slam challenge later. I wasn't quite organized enough, but I promise I'll teach them.
I'm afraid.
So, and let's just check out. Hang on, look at Michelle. She's on brand.
You should have seen the pink hands yesterday, but we'll share pictures of that.
So there you go. Just a little interruption.
These are awesome.
Sorry. There's actually more because I know
Oh,
you have
geez.
families.
Oh my God. How am I bringing all this? I need to go buy a bag today to bring all this stuff home.
Well, ladies, we're almost going to be wrapping this up because I think we are having some. Let's talk about the last thing that what we've learned a lot this week together. But also, I really want to give for those who are just now starting their brand or really ready to fill it up. What are you've given wonderful wisdom, but what are some of your best tips to really get started? And so for LinkedIn, remember the topic is how to build and boost your brand on LinkedIn. So what are some of the good tips? I'd love to hear all of you chime in. So let's start with Rachel.
What's our tips? I'm sorry. I was responding to Lois's comment that she's going to the Taylor Swift concert at Liverpool. Repeat the question.
So as we kind of wrap up, because we're having so much fun. This is so much fun. What would be your best tip for or insights or I love koalas, by the way.
Me too.
Those who want to
For
build
building
it,
our brand.
yeah. What
So,
it from
okay.
your
So,
lessons learned after being 5 years in business for women
yeah,
entrepreneurs
I think it's
like you.
I think a couple lessons are, again, those relationships are so important. So like you cannot underestimate the value of just connecting with people that are going to help support
Yes.
you and who you are. So
Mhm.
really building a brand that is authentic to who you are and not being afraid to bring in those aspects of your personality that make you unique and special, because ultimately, especially when you are a business owner,
Mhm.
your clients are buying you. So
Absolutely.
they have to connect with you, they have to feel an affinity towards you. And so if you're not showing up as the way that you are going to kind of be in that working relationship, then it's not going to be as successful. So just don't be afraid, to quote Michelle, to put yourself out there and take risks and do things that are uncomfortable and just have fun.
And that has been a fun has been like the theme this 2 day retreat. Like we have to focus on the work because we're having too much fun. But
Can I say something too, Michelle?
yeah,
There's been so
absolutely.
many things that have been like lessons learned. You can see parallels and you can learn things. And, and all of these things that we've experienced over the past 2 days, there's been like parallels. And just right now, we're in the courtyard of this hotel, and there's just a group of people that kind of came in, and they kind of like stepped in and then they stepped out, but then I think they were walking around. So they came, but they immediately, I don't know, I noticed this. They immediately came in and he was like, wow, it looks like something fun is happening back here. And then everybody else, because it was like in a normal setting, you might go, oh, I'm interrupting something, and they stepped out, but they could really tell that we were having fun and they all kind of stepped in. I almost invited the guy to come into the camera.
Well,
But
yeah.
I think when you create a brand that is authentic and it's
Yes.
fun and it's almost magnetic, like
Yes.
when you create that, and there's probably people that are watching the video, and let me know right now in comments, let us know if you're the first time watching a live that any of the four, maybe you've only seen Michelle Griffin, you've never heard from me before, maybe you've been on my lives and you've never, like, go into comments and let us know if it's the first time you're meeting one of us here. And what we try to do is create a genuine, consistent experience wherever we go, and we're continuing to grow, we're continuing to lift each other up, we're
Yep.
continuing to help build confidence, and we've even been brainstorming and helping each other with prospecting. And when we've been experiencing things in the city, I mean, even yesterday we were at lunch at, what was the name of the place? The
Gumbo shop.
Gumbo, the Gumbo Shop. Brandon, our waiter, came up to the table and he gave us the specials, and then went away and came back and we ordered. And Michelle, I don't remember what it was that you ordered. And he's like,
Oh
okay,
yeah.
but can I tell you, what did he say? Can I suggest something that's even better than what you just said?
Yeah, and no cost, no more cost to you, no additional
No more
cost.
cost. So
Yeah.
he did an upsell and he said, no more cost to you. He knew that you had some dietary preferences, and he immediately, and then he walked away. And it's like when you get marketers in a room and
We
things
both
like that
signed.
happen, we don't just go, oh, that was cool. We kind of dissect it, and we're like, oh, that was
Let's
upselling. And it was a really powerful technique where he was listening to the customer. He was aware that we were coming from out of the area and we wanted a unique dining experience, a memorable experience. From his perspective, I mean, he was upselling, but really wasn't increasing the ticket price. But at the end of the meal, when it came time to leave the gratuity, we probably took that into consideration. So there's even techniques that we're learning through, and
he
I
was
it
amazing.
kind of it's like experiential marketing. When you're going out, you're getting out of your own environment. It helps to grow your brand. So I just want to thank Michelle. I don't know if it was Michelle Griffin who originally started this, or Michelle Raymond who said, let's get together. You ladies invited me, and when you first invited me, I'm like, that's crazy. I'm not going to go to New Orleans and meet up. And then you asked me like once or twice more, and I'm like, well, maybe I can get out and go
And then
for a
it
few days.
became this whole branded
It,
business thing. It just evolved from
yeah,
there because I saw opportunity. And
yeah,
you two are powerhouses. Or you four are for all of us are powerhouses, right? And I
yeah.
wanted to really bring that collective wisdom, and that's just the first of many I'm going to be doing. But we have learned so much from each other and just shared different insights, and that's been so powerful. I mean, yesterday Brenda was by the pool waiting for her room, and you had your laptop, and we were just really talking about some deep stuff, and we even like going to collaborate on something down the road. So like that's the power, not just of building your brands together, but the connection and all the stuff that's coming up from it. So Isn't it just so powerful to be in person? I mean, that's the greatest gift. Absolutely.
The analogy I used yesterday was if you have all seen the We Are the World, the making of the We Are the World video. If you haven't seen it yet, I think it's on Netflix, if I'm not mistaken. It's like a documentary. But
Mhm.
they happen to get all of these celebrities together. It was like one of the awards performances nights. I can't remember. But there was a sign that said, "Leave your ego at the door," when they all walked in. And it was only the musicians and artists that were allowed, not their assistants, not their agents. And when they all got in, it was like, for them, it was like they were starstruck as well. And for us, it's like we are all familiar to each other. And how weird is it that we've never, Rachel and I have met in person, but how weird is it that we really have not met in person? And I was even telling my family before I left, like I had a lot of friends before, when I was younger, before I had kids, and then you have kids and you kind of grow distant. And I feel like a lot of my friends now that I'm closest to, I'm connected to through LinkedIn. And I
Yes.
really haven't seen you in person, but we chat on the phone, we get on Zooms. Michelle Raymond got me on WhatsApp of all things. I was like kicking and screaming. I'm like, I'm doing WhatsApp. She's like, but you gotta. And I said, okay, I going on. But we help and support each other. And Rachel and I, it was probably a year or so back that we got into conversation. And I said, let's jump on the phone because we need to kind of debrief and chat about this and support each other. But I feel like we're all very good friends to each other, but it's so weird. And Michelle Griffin, it was so adorable yesterday when Michelle Raymond hadn't arrived yet. Michelle Griffin's like, I feel like I'm a bride waiting. It's like the wedding day. It's like the first look, and we're all. Well, you'll see
Where
videos.
should I
There'll be videos, but
stand? Should I
Rachel and I
stand
were like,
here? What should I
we
do?
were like poking around the corner. We were like trying to get when they first make eye contact the first time. It was so precious. It really was. And the big hugs. It was so
Oh,
cool. It
it's
was so
adorable.
cool.
We have it all in footage. We'll get it out. But it was truly a surreal in the best way moment. I mean, do you think we were talking about the story? We met in the comments in December 2020, started collaborating, then did a podcast, wrote a book together, and we're almost at 100 episodes in just a few weeks, which is nuts on our podcast. And who knows where it'll take us? So almost 3.5 years later. I mean, it's just incredible. People think it's the coolest thing that you wrote a book with someone across the world. Like it's mind boggling, isn't it? I mean, at least you and Linaire you were kind of close together in New Zealand and Australia. It's not as crazy as what we did, but that's the power of LinkedIn. That's the power of Two, which we wrote about bringing brands together and people together to really multiply your effects. And today, yesterday, it's just been, I can't tell you how I'm so energized and kicked off. Just the power. And for those who wonder, how is it to meet someone? Even my mom's like, you met these people, you met these friends on LinkedIn. They don't get it. But the minute we met, it wasn't awkward. It was just like, oh, hey, we picked off where we left off, right? We
And
just hopped.
I gotta say, just to like encourage people that if you are traveling, like see who you know in that destination and make an effort to grab a coffee or a drink or lunch or something, because I've had the opportunity to meet a good number of my LinkedIn connections. I met Kevin Turner in Texas, and Matt Zahn has come to Atlanta, and I met Brenda, and we had that big meetup in New York last year. It doesn't take that much effort to figure out who is where you might be. And if you can find the time, it's just so cool to meet people in person.
I
Oh, and
wanted,
Kenneth came to Atlanta. I mean, it's just, it's so fun.
I'm going to say a shout out to Matt Zahn. I don't know if he's, I posted about this and he saw it. And so we were able to meet in person and eat lunch on Tuesday before everyone arrived. And I showed him all around the French Quarter. We had a great time. Went to Cafe Du Monde. He had never been to New Orleans. So, and we're going to collaborate in some stuff in a couple months. So that is the power of in person. And we really helped each other with some things. And so, yes, put it out where you'll be, because you never know who's going to be there, and you can really impact each other in so many ways. I'm getting hoarse too, because that's what we do in New Orleans. So we have about, probably gonna. Oh, we have friends. Hi.
See, look, exactly right there. Like they're not run. Do you guys want to come on camera? Come and say hi to our audience.
Say hi to everybody. Oh, it's so much
You're
fun.
all waving, right? We're welcoming. We're fun.
Yeah. And so I think we're going to probably end up, ending a little early. So much to do, and sessions, and then some of us have to leave in the afternoon. So, is there anything last, ladies? Oh, Michelle, did I cover your brand story? Did I? I'm sorry, I get all
No,
excited and off
it's
track.
it's fine. I only flew across the world to come and have this conversation. It's fine. No, I just wanted to say thank you to all of you for being so amazing. I can't tell you how like it just made me smile, and Lil as well, because the fact that you guys would come here to see me and meet me and make me so welcome, and all my gifts and all that kind of stuff. It's just the best experience. This is something that I'm going to have with me forever. So I love you all, and I just appreciate you all for everything that you've helped me to get me to where I am. So LinkedIn's a team sport, people. So, find some cool people on your team. But yeah, thank you, thank you. And to those people who couldn't come, like G, Sue Griffey, there was like a number of other people who tried to rearrange their schedules to come. I love you just as much. And I know our paths will cross some other times. So until then, I miss you all, and thank you. It's amazing.
Oh, she's just as amazing. All of you are just as amazing. But you're going to be back
Yeah.
speaking, so this is just the first of many. And
Yeah,
absolutely. So
we'll work on it.
we
We're working on it.
put that vision out there, the collective spirit. But I just want to give a special shout out to all of you who came and just for having so much fun together and just learning together, collaborating together, and just spreading like really good. Like Michelle and I are Michelle Squared brand. We're really here for business for good, which everyone here is. And I'm going back a new person. I don't know about you, but just getting energized, seeing all you, learning from you, it's tremendous. The power of info
Okay.
life. So I can't recommend
And
it.
and we'll just go and all learn the wobble, and we'll do that on camera next time.
Yeah,
Apparently, that's just not an
live.
international dance.
Yeah.
Apparently not.
All right. Well, we're about out at a quarter till. So
Wait, I have
I
an
just want
idea.
to say
Can
thank
I
you.
do an
Thank
idea?
you for those. Any last parting
You're
words? Oh, Brenda, did you want to say something?
I got a
Oh, wait. Can I hear you? I think you're.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
come with me, Michelle.
Oh, she's coming.
Oh, we're doing something. We have to go get beignets after this,
Oh,
y'all.
yeah. We're going to get beignets.
Oh,
Oh, we're all going to my camera. You guys get the picture. Oh, yeah. This is amazing.
ooh.
So you don't get the echo.
Oh, okay.
And then it'll take us
Can I
full
remove
screen.
Rochelle too?
There you go.
Okay.
This, do not try this at home. This is only for professionals. No, you can try this at home too. But this is like when you get the chance to meet people in person, try to do something like this. Not just meet in person, but like
And I love NOLA.
make it a live event.
Yes.
And have some fun.
Have fun. Let that be. That's why my brand is yellow and fun.
Wear cheesy t-shirts.
Yes.
Wear cheesy t-shirts. How fun
Yes.
is this?
Cheese it up. One in New Orleans.
lucky are
But
we to find
this
you?
is a game changer, this camera too. So
That's so cool.
we thank you for being a part of this LinkedIn Live and on the replay. We'd love to hear from you. Let us know what you thought, and just go rock your day. Let the good times. Let the good times roll.
I feel
Yes.
like we should go dance in the fountain like they did in the Friends video.
Okay.
I'm kidding.
There is.
I'll be there for you.
I feel like go show them. Do you have the fountain in the background so they see it?
I don't want to get in that.
Okay,
fountain.
it's a little cold. Anyway, we're
It's
going to
kind of
sign
nice.
off, but thank you all. We'll see you next time, and we appreciate it. And let the good times roll. All right. Take care,
Bye.
everyone.
Thanks,
Bye.
Michelle.